Hello and welcome to a new edition of Interview with Irene. And today my beautiful guest is the lovely Cindy Well, who will talk to us about her writing and also about her geology work. Thank you so much for coming, Sandy.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Helen. It's great to meet you finally, kind of
Oh,
face to face.
wonderful. Um, So, how about we start by you telling us a little bit about your background?
Okay, well, my career is basically in geology. I got my bachelor's in geology from the University of South Florida, and then my master's in environmental engineering sciences from the University of Florida. So I'm a bull and a gator.
Yay! Yay.
And so I've been working in geology for over 20 years and have moved up into management and leadership. So I'm actually currently a bureau chief for an agency, and it's for the Data Collection Bureau, where I have scientists and technicians and drillers all working to collect scientific data. So yeah, it's been a really rewarding career. I really love it. And, so that's primarily what I do during the day. Um, then at night and on weekends, I do a lot of writing. So whether it's scientific writing or my other blog that I have, which is Rockhead Sciences, it's a scientific blog where I have scientists from around the world share what their jobs are like, or whether it's writing novels. So I do kind of a creative writing and scientific writing.
That's incredible. And coming from a science background, that's what attracted me to you and your work too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Um, But about the fiction writing, so could you tell us a little bit about your latest work?
Yeah, I published one book that I still marketing. It's The Caging at Deadwater Manor.
All right.
That one, I was inspired by my dad because he had worked for psychiatric hospitals, just kind of off and on in his career. And he had gone up to the attic of this hospital and found two human cages in there, which was
Oh,
pretty disturbing to hear about. And also that the family members used to admit patients against their will and kind of get rid of their family embarrassments, basically. And this was quite a while ago, but so I wanted to see if I could write dark. I've always watched horror flicks and all kinds of psychiatric thrillers. So I went ahead and tried to write dark. So that book was my first book. And so right now I have another completed novel. It is another psychological thriller. Um, and it's called The Takings. I have it out with agents right now to see if I can get one to pick it up. And so it's another kind of dark book. So
that's, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make movies from them.
oh, that would be awesome. Definitely willing to talk to anybody who wants to do that.
You didn't think better watch out. So, but coming back to your geology work, so, and I've been a big fan of your blog also, which I hope to link below. Um, do you have any advice for young people, particularly girls who want to go into STEM field?
Yeah, I never, when I started, I never really thought about being a woman going into geology. I knew it was very male dominated at that time.
Right.
So I didn't, I really, the only thing I thought of was, do I have the strength?
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
Do I have the physical strength to do some of the work that is required of a geologist in the field, such as lifting very heavy generators or, buckets of water, like, a lot of water, especially in the area I was working, which was
Yeah.
contamination assessment. And but there's just ways to work around it. I would do half buckets, or and just do more back and forth. I just find a way around the physical part of it. But I've really not run into an issue with that. Like, I haven't felt being a woman in geology has held me back, or that I've had anyone try to make that an issue. I guess
Right.
I'm more fortunate in that area. But I would just say, when it comes down to it, they're looking for, people, whether you're male or female. And especially where I work, I just look at somebody who's coming in as a geologist. I don't look at it as male or female. Um, but just to have faith in yourself, and if a company seems to be that way, to try to move on to other ones that aren't, because I do, like the current one I'm in, I don't run into that as a problem.
I
There are
see.
companies out there that won't be a problem. So
I
keep
see.
keep going.
Wonderful. I agree with that. That's how I feel about biostatistics myself. So,
Yeah.
um,
I don't know why we have to characterize it between male and female. I think it should just be, you're a geologist.
I agree. I totally have the same mindset. Um, so any advice for future, sorry, any advice for future writers?
Well, I think it probably kind of depends on what path you take, whether self-publishing or going for a traditional publisher. But for self-publishing, which I actually had a small press for my first book. However, they didn't publish it for 3 years, and so I did not re-sign with them. So I just ended up self-publishing because I just was tired of waiting, mostly.
Yes.
But to think of you know, novels anyway, is it's a business. It's not just creative writing. There's so much more to it. So it's your marketing and your publishing itself, whether you're doing it through a publisher or not. You still have to know kind of the business itself. And then, of course, there's the business taxes and all that sort of thing. So it's like a business. And I don't know that a lot of writers that are doing novels when they first start really realize the other side of writing, and how involved that can be.
Right.
So, and also, to if you are self-publishing, to use professionals to do your book covers and your editing. Make sure your book is edited. I think with not doing that, there's going to be errors in the book, and then if you're not putting out a quality product, it not only hurts yourself, but it hurts other self-published authors who've done that. So um, I would really encourage you to get with an editor for that, as well as they really teach you how to write better, how to, grammar, itself, but, also development of the book itself. Is it making sense? So I think there's a lot of opportunity there to improve, your writing as well.
I agree. And on another note, any other hobbies or?
Well, of course, I like to read, so I do a lot of reading, and I like to travel. We live here in Tampa area, Florida, so
Nice.
um, so my husband and my family will go on vacations. We just came back from Tennessee, actually, in a cabin, and that was really nice.
I saw the pictures and it
Did
looks gorgeous. Yes.
And we go to Walt Disney World a lot, all the different parks, and just a lot to do there. So we enjoy that time. And I like to do art. I like to draw and paint and that kind of thing. So I have a very artistic side and a very scientific side. So so the art side comes out at home more, I guess.
That's an important balance.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It was really a pleasure having you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for inviting me. And
We'll have you again sometime.
okay, sounds good.
All right.
Take care.
And I'll see you next time on Interview with Irene. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And wait.